Alright, so I am currently driving up to this mansion. I'm about 30 minutes from it. See if I can see, hopefully the owner's there, and if not, maybe I can set up some kind of like interview. I'm not gonna ask to interview them right now. I'm gonna be like, can we set something up for like next week or something? Because I don't have any fucking camera people with me or anything like that. So, but I figure instead of like wasting my camera people time, I would go find out and make sure that, you know, they're actually willing to do the interview, and then, you know, bring them. That way I'm not fucking around. So yeah, getting there. All right.
At night, that's when all the lights shine. Ask the stewardess what's the flight time. No, we grown, we all got shit to say, but we drunk, so it's the right time. Outer space, they got a high climb. Out of sight, I'm at a mile.
My buddy Gary here, my dude that's gonna be running this shit with me, are approaching the $6 million mansion right now, which is looks like a fucking castle. I know you can't even see, like, you can only see like a third of it, to be honest with you. And the property is ridiculous. To go, we walked past the security fences and all that good shit, and cameras. Gate was open, but we kind of just went right in. They have a buzzer and shit. But yeah, here we go. I mean, we're gonna knock and see if we can get an interview. We even got some shit set up in case they say right now that they can do it, but we're gonna see if we can just get something set up and go from there. Right, so, well, we just got done at the mansion. How'd that go? How'd that go?
I mean, I feel like they were just very weary because of who we are, and exactly, and that's the point. They don't know who we are.
They don't.
So they were just like, no, it seems weird. And
he seemed like he had a thick accent too. This house was just bought, so it's as if they like just got here from fucking like Germany. It sounded, or something thick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're definitely foreign. In some aspect. I don't know what culture or anything,
but we went up. We knocked, and we're like, hey, we're just trying to like figure out some like tips for help people out to become successful. And, you know, obviously you got to go to the best of the best, the highest mentors. I mean, $6 million house, and I know because I used to build pools for a bunch of mansions, and that's why I know a lot of houses that hit. A lot of rich, successful people are never fucking home, which makes it kind of difficult. You know what I mean?
They're out making money.
They're out making money. And, I mean, we got plenty more houses to hit, so nobody get discouraged. I mean, we tried, and I'll post this shit up anyway. So we'll just go from there, and hopefully there's not a ticket on my fucking car because of where I parked. She'll be bad.
Fucking horrible.
But yeah, there it was. We did try. Their doorbell was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was like ding, 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 ding. Yeah. It had like a fucking like circle and shit.
We went up to the door and we pressed the doorbell, and one had like one of those little cameras, of course, and it was just stone etching shit all around the fucking thing and wood paneling. I would have took the camera up to the house like on the way, but Gary did mention that it would probably be pretty fucking disturbing and rude, considering we already passed their ADT security fence, past that, ignored their whatever the fuck they got up here, so I didn't want to, like, you know what I mean? We were just trying to get the bee's nest. We didn't want to flurry the bees, but alright, well, we tried. We're gonna try again, I believe Tuesday or Wednesday this week coming up, so not this house, but I actually know a house that's worth about $3 million more, and I'm gonna hit that one up, so come on, Gary. What the fuck?
Hey, hey, it's been so long since you've gone away. And hey, hey, it's been so long since you've gone away.
We're back home now. Well, it's actually a couple hours after I got back home. It's fucking pouring too. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah, I'm not discouraged at all. I'm actually kind of happy with the fact that we went through with it, because it's the anxiety before you do some shit that people don't want to do that separates, I think, a lot of people. You know, even when we pulled out front, like, our hearts were racing. We could just feel like, it was like shit. And it seems so simple, but when you're sitting out front of this stranger's house and all these cameras on you and all this shit, like, the anxiety builds up. And it's like moments like that, I think, are what separate people who really want to do these kind of things and people who are just like, this is a cool idea. You know what I mean? There's a clear dividing line between these two things because of the fact that 1 million people have brilliant ideas all the time. You know, you could probably think of 100 times you're sitting around a fucking bonfire with your friends and shit, and y'all are brainstorming and talking about, yeah, we should do this or this and this and that, and none of that shit ever fucking happens. It's not, I mean, I'm not talking like, let's go kayaking and then that never happens. I'm talking about like, yo, let's start a fucking business. Let's write a song. I have a lot of friends that I think are like musically inclined. We're always like, yeah, like I have my own studio. There's drummers, guitarists, we got everything. No, we're always like, yeah, let's do it. Nobody ever finds the time to do it, and they kind of just, I feel like there's no motivation because they just like lower themselves to thinking that nothing will ever come of it, and it doesn't have to. I mean, if you're just doing this shit for fun, that's cool. But what I'm doing, I just punched my fucking knuckle. But what I'm doing, I think this shit's fun. And as soon as we left that mansion, it was like, it felt fucking good. Even though we didn't get the fucking interview or whatever. I mean, we only had like a 4-minute conversation with this guy, if that. It felt good. It was like, wow, it's like throughout my whole life, anytime I want to do this kind of shit or anything, like I have a ton of ideas of shit I want to do. But every single time I like go to put it in motion, I just stop. I freeze. It never happens. And I feel like so many fucking people go through that. You know, it's the same thing as we're like, I don't know, like I can relate it to like if you find this fucking like girl you like or something and you're like, she gives you all the signs, but you don't act on it, and then when you leave and she's gone and nothing happened between you two, even though you really fucking liked her, you're like, shit, like why didn't I do it? It's one of those kind of moments. But like, obviously not on the same topic or anything close to, so. But yeah, it was definitely good. It was a good experience, and we both came off it like, I mean, you can see in the video, it was like, that's all right. It wasn't bad as we thought it would be. The anxiety went away right away. And it's like, we could really do this. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not yet, but I know a place, probably the same distance, maybe 15 minutes further than what I drove today, that has about 6 or 7 mansions bigger than that one, all right next to each other. So we're just going to go on like a day I have off work or something and just fucking hit them all and just, you know. I also found out I was pretty ill prepared. We're going there, and I'm like, when I go to pick up Gary, because he lives like 10 minutes away from this mansion, I'm like, dude, what if they want to do the interview right on the spot? Or what if they can't do it and they want us to leave information? Like, I have nothing. I was like, yeah, dude, bring a fucking pencil, like composition paper, and your balls, because we're going and we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So I'm like scribbling outside their fucking mansion, like real quick. I'm like, what questions will we ask and all that shit. And it was like, there was a lot of anxiety at first. So now I know that before we go to any of these other ones, I'm going to put on my calendar, I'm going to take the time to, like, print out, like, I don't know, it's like fucking $6 to order 100 business cards online. And I'll just put, you know, Knowledge Society, Gary Austin, whatever the fuck, whoever's going to be on my team or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't even call it whatever. With the contact info in case we go and they're like, that sounds really cool. And like, I think the owner would be interested, or what, my husband or wife comes home, just like leave us a card. And I don't want to hand them a fucking like ripped up piece of composition paper with like call me on it. You know what I mean? And to print out pre-planned questions, like 50 of them. And we're not going to do all 50. I mean, I don't want the interviews or whatever to be longer than like 8 to 10 minutes. But like 50 questions, and then just pick 8 off of them. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm not discouraged at all. He's not discouraged. We're actually kind of pumped by it. That was pretty cool. It was like thrilling and exhilarating to even do such a simple thing. I mean, unless you're doing it, I guess you don't really know. But yeah, it was kind of cool. But anyway, I gotta get the fucking bed, so good night.